Hello and welcome to this Kotlin tutorial. In this tutorial, we will look into basics of programming using the Kotlin language, the Kotlin programming language. And from here on, we'll start our experience in advanced, modern language programming. Okay, so to start working in Kotlin, we will first need to download and install the IntelliJ IDEA program editor. Yes, and to do that, you should go into the web page, the official web page, and download the free version of this app, which is designed for non-commercial use. Okay, once you have the program, yes, we will take we will now in this first step create our first basic Kotlin program. Okay, one of the most advantages that we can find in the Kotlin language, programming language, is that it's very flexible and it can be used in many different contexts. Today, Kotlin can be used for native development. For example, what we can do with C++ on specific machines without the need of a virtual machine. We can use it as Java, for example, over a virtual machine, which will allow us to execute the application developed in Kotlin in many different machines without the need of worrying about different specification of the machine where we are developing the app itself. Kotlin is also used a lot now on the server side, for the server-side application development. Instead of Java, it's replacing Java. And Kotlin is used right now officially by Google to program the Android apps, Android applications. Okay, so if you learn Kotlin, eventually you are covering much of the market spectrum. Okay, so let's start by creating our first application. Like always, it's an hello world application. We'll enter into the IntelliJ IDE editor, and we'll create a new project. As you can see, you can either create a new project, import an existing project, open a project that you already had, okay, and check it out from Git, from some Git control, GitHub, or Bitbucket. Okay, in our tutorials, in the beginning, we're not going to use it, but later on, we will start also creating projects in Bitbucket, so we can link them and start making source code. You know what? Even better, we will from now do it like that. We will first. Well, we will create a new project, and after the Hello World program, we will create it as a project from Bitbucket, so to have complete version control. Okay, so as you can see, when you create a new project, it asks us which kind of project for which context, yes, environment we are interested to develop. So if we choose Java, is the most it's the most known and basic system we have today. It works over the Java virtual machine, and in theory, if you develop in Java, or at least if you develop in a Java context, okay, the context of Java, your application will work everywhere there is a Java. Okay, JavaFX just adds some visual capacity, so you can add also the visual side for the application. It's similar to Java, but it has some more systems. Android, yeah, it's if you want to create the apps for Android. We later on will start doing it on Android, but we're not going to use IntelliJ. We're going to use Android Studio. Okay. Maven, for example, is as well as Gradle, we will see it, are script-based files which allow us to manage many different libraries and components that we do not need to create by ourselves, and import them to our app without the need really to develop. So it's a catalog, yeah, of components that already exist on the network, on the internet, and you can develop your apps depending on other people's libraries without the need to do it by yourself. And Maven, or either Maven or Gradle, because they're the same, well, they are different technology, but they do something similar. They can manage the creation and the use of external components. Okay, and here we have the option to choose Kotlin directly. Yeah, and we will choose Kotlin. Okay, sorry, I mean, yeah. When I mention Java, it's because you can develop in Java, but you can develop with the libraries of Kotlin. Okay, sorry for the misunderstood. So we will use Kotlin. Okay, I forgot that IntelliJ allows us to develop in other languages. We will use Kotlin. Okay, and Kotlin, as I mentioned before, you can choose Java. What I was mentioning before, I thought it was up here. Well, for JavaScript, you can use Kotlin in JavaScript, in native, as I mentioned before, in native. Multi-platform library, which is a library that can be used in many different platforms, for JavaScript and in a multi-platform server system, yeah, and a JavaScript client and a back-end Java virtual machine server, okay, this is for server. Mobile, Android, iOS, it allows even for iOS development, but we're not going to do it right now, and a mobile share library. We will do it as a Java virtual machine over the Java virtual machine. We're going to choose this, okay, and we're going to go next. And in the next, we'll put the name of the project. In this case, we'll call it Hello World. Okay, so it will. In my case, it's creating it in this folder. I'm going to change it because I have my own developing folder, and inside the developer folder, I will create a new folder called Kotlin. Okay, and inside Kotlin, it's there where I want to create the project Hello World, which we'll call Hello World. Allow me to write. Sorry, here we go, and it's gonna be Hello World. Great. Project SDK, which is the Java that's going to use for a virtual machine, you can leave it at 11. If you don't have it, install it. Okay, it will ask you to install it, so you will install it. And the Kotlin, all the things that if you're missing something, it will tell you to install it. I forgot to mention it. You have to be sure that if it asks you, okay, I have to install this thing, you allow it to install. Okay, so it tells you project level with pre-file will be created. Okay, so we go finish. Choose OK, and it will create our first Kotlin-based project. As you can see, the app now looks a bit different. Now it shows us the complete structure of the project here on the left. It's telling me that it can update the IntelliJ. I'm not going to do it right now. Okay, I will do it in the future. And now here on the left, it's generating the different elements of our project. Okay, once it's finished, we'll proceed with defining, yes, our main file. Okay, you can see that it also imported all kind of libraries and basic elements, so we can work on it. This is for functionality purposes. We for now are not going to touch it, but we can see is that again the different elements that were imported from outside for the program to work. Okay, this is the basis. There is no main file which we'll create in the following part, in the following part of the tutorial. With this, we can start working on our project. So in the next part of the tutorial, I will show you. We'll start creating our first Hello World app.